Family, hey, it's Teaching Tuesday, and you know we haven't been here in a while, but we back. And today's topic is what I need from you is understanding. Yes, today's topic is about understanding. All right, let's get into it. So we're getting ready to jump into it, but before I do that, yes, the Christmas tree is still up. Nope, don't judge me, judge your mama. Anyway, Colossians 2:2. Well, it's chapter 2, verses 2 through 4. My goal is that they may be encouraged in heart and united in love, so that they may have the full riches of complete understanding, in order that they may know the mystery of God, namely Christ, in whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. I tell you this so that no one may deceive you by fine-sounding arguments. Colossians 2:2 through 4. Okay. So we're going to jump right into it, but before I do that, you see the Christmas tree still up. Don't judge me, judge your mama. Colossians chapter 2, verses 2 through 4. My goal is that they may be encouraged in heart and united in love, so that they may have the full riches of complete understanding, in order that they may know the mystery of God, namely Christ, in whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. I tell you this so that no one may deceive you by fine-sounding arguments. Okay? I begin my Teaching Tuesdays while I'm in the shower. So, God posed to me this question. Have you ever been in a situation where God gives you a test and you fail it? I mean, you fail it and you're like, okay, God, next time I'm going to get it right. So, He tests you again with the same thing. And you this time you memorize the answer. So, you ready. You got it. You good. You pass. But then the third time He comes back and tests you with the same issue, but it's a kind of a different format, and you fail it because it's really not this. It's the same answer, but it's not the memorized answer that you had. Kind of like when you have a teacher that gives you a multiple choice test, and so once you see where you messed up at, you go home and memorize the answers, right? But if a teacher gives you an open-ended questions with basically the same answers, but you have to put it into your own words, you fail because you haven't actually understood the answer. You haven't actually understood what's going on. You've only memorized it. So, in this season, God is calling us to get past the level of just knowing, but getting to a level where you actually understand what it is that God is doing in your life. And so, He brought back to my remembrance a tweet that I seen on Twitter from one of the youth pastors I follow. And he said, "It kills me when believers say that I don't know what God is doing, but I know He up to something." And he said, if you are a believer and you are spending time with God, there should be a level of understanding of what God is doing in your life. And I was taken aback because I was like, ooh, guilty. And God was showing me that spending time is very important to gaining understanding. And so I'm reminded of Samson and Delilah, right? So let me get into Samson and Delilah. Samson had the strength of like 1,000 men, okay? You know what I'm saying? He was a strong brother. Now, I told y'all Samson was a strong man, okay? And Delilah was trying to get him to lose to the Philistines, so she was trying to trick him, okay? But the first couple of times he lied about where his strength came from. And then the last time he said, you know what, I'm going to just tell you the truth. And no razor has ever been touched to my head, and that's where my strength lies, right? Now, Samson was a Nazarite, which means that he was dedicated to God since he was a baby, okay? Certain diet, certain rules he had to follow, prayer, all that good stuff, right? So, now in the story, not one time does Samson talk about, going to talk to God, spend time with God, pray, or whatever while he's meeting with Delilah, okay? I think that's really important to talk about. So, after Delilah shaves his head, Samson had lost his strength. Now, surface level knowledge would tell Samson that he lost his strength because his head was shaved when the Bible says that the Lord had left him. Okay, left him. So, this time, Samson then got, okay? And the Bible says that they put him in prison. Now, I don't know if y'all know any folks that didn't went to prison, but most folks that go to prison, they get real close to who? Jesus, God, some type of deity. They get real close because it ain't nobody to talk to in there but God. Okay? So, I imagine that Samson is talking to God, spending time with God, gaining some understanding of things because he's in prison. So when they said we're going to bring Samson out to entertain us, and he told him to put him in front of these two pillars, and this time God, he prayed to God and said, Lord, please remember me. Just strengthen me once more. Samson now realizes, Samson now has understanding that his power didn't come. Now, y'all, I don't want to be like Samson and not reach the level of understanding until I'm about to die. Now, the person that I do want to be like is like Paul. See, Paul, when he was Saul, he knew surface level things about Jesus and was able to say all these nasty things about Jesus because that's just what he knew. But once he gained that level of understanding and his name was changed to Paul, he was able to do something which was teach. He was able to go out and teach people about Jesus and about God and Christianity, all right? So once you've reached a certain level of understanding, you're able to teach. And so these tests don't become testimonies until you're able to understand. And I was like, that's good. Your tests do not become testimonies until you're able to understand. See, when you're going through these tests, that's just what they are. They're just tests. But once you're able to understand just exactly what this test is about to do in your life, that is when you'll be able to help somebody else with your testimony. Y'all get me? As I'm closing on the topic of understanding, you know how when you first get to know somebody, you kind of know what they like and what they don't like. But as you really get to spend time with them, you know what makes them tick and you know why it makes them tick. Like, you know that your girlfriend likes Coke because her daddy liked Coke, and she and her dad really didn't have this great relationships, but she would do anything to try to please her dad. So anything that he likes, she would like it or she would do it. That's a deeper level of understanding than just knowing something about a person, you know. And I want to get like that with God, where I don't have to question everything. Like, I really am out here lost, not knowing why God is testing me on certain things, when if I would just spend a little time with him, I could gain some clarity and gain some understanding. So today, God, I pray that we will spend time with you so that we can gain clarity and understanding. God, we want to go to the next level, God. We don't want to just stay on one level of just knowing God. God, we want to go to the deeper levels of understanding, the deeper levels of what you have for us, the deeper levels of teaching, God. And so I seal this in the name of Jesus. Okay? And I'll see y'all next week. And my wig's sweating like really bad. I could lift the whole lace up. This is bad. Oh, that's bad. Bye, y'all.